The Africa aviation industry is expected to generate about $100 million in revenue this year, according to the International Air Travel Association. Infrastructure developments at key international airports, coupled with increasing passenger traffic, are among the factors driving growth.
Actually, everywhere you look in Africa, the opportunities are there because the markets are underserved. But typically now we are seeing a lot of investment in airports. So modern airports are coming up, which means airlines can operate in environments that support the growth of the industry as well as their businesses. Secondly, the economies of most countries are growing, so which means there are more people who are going to be traveling.
The main factor is efficiency and traffic growth. The airline industry over the years, because of persistent high cost increases, has actually done a lot to make sure its operations are very efficient. And currently, the industry is running at a very high level of efficiency in terms of its operations. We've taken away a lot of the unnecessary costs that are within the airline's control.
Though stakeholders in the aviation sector are optimistic, passenger traffic remains dismally low. It is estimated that only about 15% of the African population use air travel, and passengers traveling from outside the continent prefer non-African airlines.
We heard today that only 20% of the passengers are coming on African airlines to Africa, and that is far from ideal. In the past, we talked about reciprocity. Under the old regimes, we had a 50-50 distribution of traffic. Now, with 20% and 80% going somewhere else, we must ask ourselves, what are our governments doing to help our aviation sector?
Tax charges by most African governments still remain quite high, and safety and security were also cited as key concerns impeding growth of Africa's aviation sector.
Air transport is still looked at as a cash cow for most governments and most service providers at the airports. We have taxes alone ranging between $40 to as high as $180 on an international ticket in some countries. Now, this is very unsustainable. I mean, we have always thought that low-cost carrier development could be another way to actually get as many people as possible to travel.
We have to enhance safety and security in Africa, which is a big thing globally, as you know. Secondly is infrastructure development. We are lagging behind as a region in terms of investment in this sector, whether it be the airports, air navigation services, as well as facilities to make sure that our passengers travel in comfort. Those are some of the key things that really we are looking at.
Another factor hindering the growth of African airlines has been the lack of liberalization of the aviation sector.
Because market is not fully liberalized, it has affected airlines' ability to grow their business. Even where traffic exists, it is constrained. You heard the Secretary General of AFRA mentioned the example of Angola, where there's huge traffic potential, but the government of Angola is restricting market access. Kenya Airways wants additional frequencies to Angola. It's been refused. Ethiopia wants additional frequencies it cannot get. Yet, the business is there. So unless we find a way of unlocking this potential, it is going to be difficult.
To counter low traffic volumes, some airlines such as Kenya Airways have introduced low-cost carriers which are expected to boost numbers. That is seen as a growth frontier for airlines in Africa.
When you look at FastJet from Tanzania, that they are flying domestically, they are flying to Lusaka now, they are flying to Johannesburg, they have load factors of over 80%, they are doing something right. Jumbo Jet was launched here, they have a very high load factor. When you pre-book, you get it for $32 a ticket. When you book very late, you get penalized, you pay more. That system works when it's properly explained and properly promoted.
It is not all bad news. Industry experts are bullish about the aviation sector and say that there are still untapped opportunities for growth in the industry.
We notice that Most of the services that are being provided at airports today, we've seen significant outsourcing of these services. And in Africa, most of them are going to non-Africans. We would want to rather have these opportunities controlled and run by Africans, provided they can do so efficiently and cost-effectively.